September 19th. And I'm glad to have you guys here. This is really another wonderful day here in the great state of Ohio. Yes, folks, the Buckeye State. And I just want to thank you for being here with me and joining us in this afternoon. And of course, we're covering a couple topics. One is really about the role media is playing and maybe pegging the algorithm in such a way that there's a lot of negativity out there, right? And we're going to dig into that a little bit. Maybe have some Q&A here. Hey, welcome to the Economic Report. You're like one of my consistent fans. I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you for liking, and if you have a comment, go ahead and drop it on in there. You are absolutely awesome. So thank you for being here once again. And of course, we're talking gold prices. Gold prices this week have gone kind of sideways, you'd say. We're talking really roughly about right around, thank you for that as well, pal, I appreciate it. So we're talking roughly between 3650. It's down from 3,700 where it was really, really close just a couple of days ago. But maybe the one you really need to pay attention to is silver. Like silver's creeped its way on up. We're talking about like near highs. We're talking $43 per ounce. And of course, silver was not that long ago was in the 30s, and so the fact that it bounced up to 43 is like no joke. So it's something you're going to want to pay attention to. And also, we've said before on this channel, and of course in my long form videos, paying attention to the miners of these items. Of course, gold, we threw out Newmont Mining, for instance. Another one might be Anglo Ashanti. And of course, when it comes to silver, there's not just a precious metals application, but I also want to remind you that there's also I wouldn't quite call it a rare earth, but maybe a rare earths element, because silver is used in so many different capacities. And also want to remind you, keep an eye on copper, because there could be some really, really big things going on with copper as well. So I'm just asking you folks to keep these things on your radar screen, because once again, we are really about taking Wall Street economics and DC politics and bringing those things down here to the Main Street level. So thank you for being here once again. So we've covered gold. Kate, glad to have you here. You are awesome. So we've covered gold and we've covered silver, and written permission from Trey Taylor, Crew Tractor. All right, well, I will be sure to check out who Trey Taylor. Sorry, forgive me, but I don't know much about Trey Taylor nor the Crew Tractor, but I'm going to go with that. Hey, Talua, welcome here to the Economic Report. You are awesome, and thank you guys for liking, and thank you for subscribing, and really thank you for commenting. Of course, this is the kind of channel we don't like a lot of nonsense. What we do like is just meaningful conversations. And all right, well, thank you, Talua, and newly fee. I will make sure I'm following along here as well, because I don't know a lot about that, but I'll do my best to follow, my friend. So with that, we've covered gold, we've covered silver, and Bev, welcome to the Economic Report. You're amazing. And so if you are liked and subscribed, of course, you get the heads up when we're going to go live. And of course, you also get the information that is hitting here as well. We're talking about my latest drops. And of course, today, my drop was all about the role that media is playing, right? And I don't want to say I'm a conspiracy theorist whatsoever, but I'm here to say that it's kind of like man versus the machine. And if you're interested, we can talk about this a little bit, because I do want my viewers to be just aware of what's going on there. Hunter, welcome here. And of course, this is a powerful, powerful thing to take into consideration. So I'm going to throw out a proposition to you that living in a state of fear is really where the media wants to have all of us. Hunter, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm here to say that whether it's news, whether it's TV, whether it's radio, whether it's a platform, you need to just be aware that there's a manipulation going on here quite a bit, and it's going on, believe it or not, with the media. And of course, these algorithms, they're very real, they're very powerful, and maybe most of all, they're targeted right at us and our behavior. Of course, I want to make sure we're being super mindful that I'm having a great day, Hunter. Thank you for asking. And I got to tell you, these algorithms are really designed to keep your attention on a channel. And of course, they will give you everything you want to see. Maybe just maybe ratchet it up a little bit, little by little in increments. And just to be aware of that, uh, these platforms really do benefit by trying to keep you and or us in a state of fear. You know, you go back to the caveman days, this fear factor is really a built-in human emotion. And of course, back then it was, hey, you're fearful of coming out of the cave. Hey, you're fearful about not getting enough food, water, shelter, etc. But little by little, you know, man came out of the cave and would maybe occasionally retreat back in. So that fear factor is kind of a wired in type of behavior. I share this with you because I don't think much has changed. The way things are, hey Hunter, thank you. You are absolutely. I do appreciate you for doing that. That really does matter a ton. And that goes for anybody else that's liking and subscribing as well. It does make a significant difference to this channel. But let me go on here for a moment because um, this fear factor, of course, of constantly playing with emotions, etc., it's real and it's happening more and more. And I think that's part of the reason why we see such explosive behavior around social media, and of course, extreme behaviors like going out hurting other human beings or being cruel to other human beings that we typically wouldn't do. Um, and Talua, good to have you here as well. Thank you also for subscribing. I appreciate that. So I want to make sure that we're kind of clear of what's happening here, that fear turns into, well, maybe a little bit of a deeper dive. And of course, that is maybe frustration and maybe a little bit of despair in there. And you keep on wanting more and more information. And without a doubt, uh, I want to make sure you're aware of that as well. And the other part is that maybe, just maybe, you can be led down the path of despair, right? And despair means, well, you get so upset, so worked up that you would do things you typically wouldn't do, say things you typically wouldn't say, and you get drawn into a deeper, deeper silo, which is more and more of this negative information. And I've seen over the past week, maybe 2 weeks, that there's key words and phrases that trigger people, and that alone really is having an impact on our society, right? I've seen so many different things on social media, like tirades, cruel, terrible things that you typically would not say to people, that, hey, unfriend me if anybody disagrees with this statement. And I'm like, where on earth is this stuff coming from? But it's out there, it's real, and it's happening more and more that people maybe are just walking around without having their best thoughts in order. Does that make sense, Hunter, Talua? And if so, uh, I appreciate the smiles there, etc. Then we're definitely talking about the same stuff here. And what I really worry about is just the overall mental health of some of the folks here that are really consuming these things, because like the last thing in the world you want to see is people going a little bit wackadoodle over some of these things that maybe they are worth talking about, maybe they're not. But of course, having extreme behaviors is really kind of what we're worried about here. And I don't want to see any of my fellow countrymen, or anybody else for that matter, flying off the handle because, one of these social media companies like have your numbers and keep on feeding you more and more crap. So that apathy is very real. And so, today, I've talked to a couple of my friends, and we took this and we said, hey, let's flip this thing around and offer people hope. And one of the things we talked about offering people hope was, once again, finding a little bit of gratitude every single day of something you're thankful for. I've got to be honest with you, that hope, that thankfulness for what's going on right in your life really does matter a ton. And when you have that attitude of gratitude, you're going to be really, really surprised by all the different things that are popping up that you really can't be. Well, you don't even recognize how many blessings you actually have, right? Whether it's the good weather, whether it's being able to get out and move. It's these little things that really do matter a ton. And so, with that, the other thing is, making sure you're sharing that attitude of gratitude with others, because that too is a very, very infectious and contagious thing. You're finding things to be happy about, which, hey, folks, it beats finding things to be miserable about, right? And that's very real. And I'm here to say that you can have a positive as opposed to a net negative effect on the people you come into contact with. And of course, maybe the third and final component of this is you start putting yourself in a position to take action, to maybe set goals, and maybe, just maybe, take this wave and ride it, right? It's very, very real and it's powerful. And I'm just here to say, that's the kind of stuff we want to do. We want to be the people, and we definitely want to be the channel that's going out and making a positive impact on the world around us, because Lord knows we've seen so much negativity. Why on earth do we want to be part of that? Instead, let us be the people that can get up that surfboard, ride the wave of hope, encouragement, and make a difference in the world in all the right ways, as opposed to finding things to be miserable about. So maybe here in closing, I can share a story with you, because it's really worth sharing with you. And with that, there was a Holocaust survivor I've known, and I've made reference to him before. Had the number 17, all his numbers added up to 17 on his forearm. And it was interesting because the 17th letter of the Hebrew alphabet symbolized life, right? And he said so in his brain, he convinced himself that while he was at the camp that he was going to live, which is really, really powerful place to, you're in a place of misery and all types of horrible things going on, that he programmed his thinking that I'm going to live, this is my lucky number. But it's even more interesting than that. And if I could just take another moment of time, two of your time to maybe share encouragement. He said that while he was in the camp, he had a couple of very, very powerful things. That one, he was going to live. Number two, he was going to learn something about his experience. Now think about that for a minute. You're in a miserable situation, but you're going to live and you're going to learn something. And that something was going to be designed to help other human beings out. And finally, the last pieces part of that was he was going to take that experience and he was going to share it with others, right? So you think about everyday life, how things operate, and maybe, just maybe, we can take what goes on in everyday operations and really find something to be thankful for, being something to learn, something to share, and of course that same something is to help other human beings out. And if we do that, then we know we're moving things in the right direction, because who wants to be the person who's tearing other people down? Not me, and I don't think you're that person either. And that's part of the reason why you're watching this episode of the Economic Report, because you know as well as I do that the biggest battle you fight is it's the one between your ears over your thoughts, your actions, and your attitude. With that, know that every time you are here and you're part of this community, we are encouraging you here during these lives to go out and make a difference, right? And with that, make sure you're smiling, saying hello, and you can move a mountain by your little actions and your positive attitude, because that's what's contagious and the world needs more of it. Thank you for joining me. This has been really a great time together. And if you're liked and subscribed, I can continue to provide this information to you. I will promise that I will keep on sending out extended channels. And if you are here late, I will make sure this whole episode today is going to be uploaded to the channel, and it will be able to watch the entire thing. There's a lot of encouragement in here. And if you'd like to be encouraged, maybe just a simple way, because remember, Jacob had the words life across here, and he was going to live. And what was going to do? He was going to learn. He was going to share his story so he could help other human beings out. And if we do that, folks, we're doing a lot. Thanks for joining me here on this Friday. You are amazing, and thank you for liking and subscribing. Drop a comment if you have any other questions, and I'll be sure to catch up with you. Have a great day.